Because reading is what? Fundamental.
Hey guys, welcome to What You Reading. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Delaze. Welcome back, guys. So it has
Yay.
been a minute, but we're back. We were doing some
Sorry.
revamping, some changes, all that good stuff. So
Mhm.
we are reading this week. Wow, the story is called "My Best Friend Is an Idol." It is a JK story, and it is by K-PZY underscore Nana. So Nana, and it's on Wattpad. So let's get into it.
Okay, guys. So, in this story, the main character name is Shan or Shanshan. Which one is it?
I think they did call her Shan Shan.
Shanshan, but there was no R. It looked like Shan to me in the book.
That's true.
So, the girl name is, I'm going to say Shanshan because that's what they kept saying. So, in the story, it's the girl, her name is Lee Shanshan. And she had a pretty decent family with they had good money or whatever. And in the beginning of the story, it talks about how she did not want to be involved in the family business. She was very artistic. She loved photography, and she did not want to take over the business that her dad had. Her mom died when she was very, very young, and so she was pretty much raised by her dad and her stepmom, and they ended up moving to New York when she was really young.
Mm-hmm.
So in the story, this kind of start off when she was moving back to Korea because she had been low key having an art exhibit that she was letting somebody else run. So when she decided that did not want to be a part of her dad's business, she just up and left and went to Korea thinking that he just wouldn't know what she was at,
Right.
even though she was originally from Korea.
Right. She had a whole gallery set up for her and said somebody
Right,
running it
right.
for her.
Like I don't know why she didn't think her dad knew that was gonna be the first choice.
Right. Right. She didn't go somewhere like random. She went back
Right,
home.
right.
Same house and
And
everything.
so kind of the backstory is that she left when she was really young. Her best friend was JK, and I think she was like 9 or 10 when she left. And she was like telling him bye, and then he would not. He didn't want to hear it. He was so mad that she was leaving. That's how close they were.
Mm-hmm.
He was so mad that she was leaving that he didn't even talk to her. So she just left without talking to him. And over time, they just kind of disconnected. They didn't talk at all. Like, so she was kind of living her life in New York, and then she decided to move back. So she moved back to Korea, and she went to the same house that her mom and dad lived in when she was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she didn't think to clean that thing up or nothing. She literally walked in there, pulled some a sheet off the
She
bed,
just did
and
a
laid down on that bed.
did a little. All right, we're
The
good.
little dust off.
she. All right.
So which didn't make sense to me. It was weird to me because she did have some money.
Yeah.
So I could understand why she didn't go to a hotel and have that renovated, cleaned. Because she was acting like she was broke in the story too, but she wasn't. She had money.
Right.
Maybe she was a cheapskate.
Maybe. Maybe.
So she ends up going to her childhood home, and as she gets there, she sees JK's dad, but she didn't even recognize JK's dad at first. And she was like, pretty much, she was like, "Oh, do I know you?" And she was like, "No, my name is Lee Shaw." But in she had another name. Her birth
Yeah.
name was something, but I don't know what it
It
was
was
because they never called
Lee.
her that.
Lee.
Lee G.
something. But yeah, that was her other name, and she
Right,
decided she's
she
gonna have
just
a whole
took
new life.
a whole identity, the
Yeah,
whole identity.
yeah.
So she pretty much has been, he asked her, "Do I know you?" She was like, "No, my name is Lee Shasha." And he was like, "Okay." And then she recognized who he was because he was going back to his house, and she was like, "Oh, that's JK's dad."
Mhm.
So as the time went by, she kind of just like was going to work and back home or whatever. And one day when she was back home, she seen JK car pull up. Oh, well, pause. First of all, she had just found out that he was part of the boy band BTS. She didn't even know BTS.
Mhm.
Don't ask me how you don't know your best friend. Your best friend is a BTS.
I mean, but
But
they
okay.
fell out of touch, and she wasn't into that, so she just never knew. I feel like she would have heard about it, especially with them being as big as they are, and we're traveling a lot. So
hmm
I'm surprised she hadn't. But yeah, she didn't. She wasn't into that because remember when
Yeah,
she
because
got
in the story
back?
she was like, I don't know how I didn't notice he was in New York when he was
Yeah.
touring. I'm like, how you didn't know?
Right.
I don't know. I've never been to New York. I've been in New York one time. It was literally just to catch a flight and get out of there. I ain't never been to New York, so I don't know how big it is that she wouldn't know. But I feel like if it was me, even if it was my best friend and we lost touch, I kind of still would want to. Oh, I want to know how they are today. I wonder where they are.
Oh yeah, because I
Like it was
know
her.
I
It's her one and only best friend.
right, and I know I've had friends from like just doing different moves and stuff like that, being like, "Dang, I wonder how so and so doing." I go try to look them up on Facebook or Instagram and just to see like, "Oh, I wonder if they're doing good," whatever. We may not talk or nothing like that, but just to see, you know.
Right. And these days, even if she looked up his legal name, the stuff would have popped up.
Right.
So I don't know how she didn't know, but she didn't
That's
know.
true.
So she found out that he was a part of the boy band, but she kind of was still trying to hide. And she seen him pull up at his parents' house that he was with a girl. Okay, go ahead, girl.
I'm trying to think because you caught me off at a second that I wasn't expecting. The girl.
So he was with another girl, and she was like, she felt some type of way. How you feel some
Oh,
type
that's
of way?
right. Yeah,
How you feel some type of way?
you ain't talked to
She
this
was
man
like,
in
oh,
years.
years,
Years.
but she felt that ping in
In
her
her
heart.
heart. She felt the ping in her heart. Didn't know why she felt like that. I haven't seen my best friend
Right,
in so long, but he doesn't look like that was the thing. He didn't look like he did when they were younger because they were 10, and he was grown
right.
now, and she was grown now.
Mm,
She like, oh, he's
looking so
muscular.
good.
He's this, he's that. But I don't, that's my best friend. That's still a goofy little boy that I remember. Blah 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 blah. So, sorry, my computer keep going dark. Um, so she trying to hide out so that nobody notices she's there because she doesn't want to approach him or nothing like that. Which is like,
hmm
I don't quite understand why she felt
Yeah.
like that. To be honest, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me.
Well, I kind of think that she was trying to feel that, or kind of feeling that way because she hasn't spoke to him in so long.
Yeah, but what's
She was scared of his reaction.
but like
Of
just to be like, hey, it's because the I know you heard that.
it. It's fine. It's fine.
Um, because later on in the story, she like when they actually like see each other, she's keeps saying that she's somebody else, and I'm like, how does he not know her face?
Hell, that's what I would be. If this your childhood, but okay, let me think. So when JK legit was like first, when we see his like little interviews and his like his audition tape, he did look a lot different than he do now.
But she recognized him immediately, and I feel like she
But
probably
she
hadn't.
recognized him because okay, y'all, what we failed to realize to mention is that this girl, when she figured out he was in part of BTS, she went and done research on BTS because she didn't know BTS.
Right.
So she's seen all this stuff. So even if she didn't, she might have not recognized him until she seen those photos.
I guess
Because when
that's
she
true.
seen those photos, I remember her in the story being like, "Oh, he looked way different," and he looked way better, and when he get out bulky and stuff like that.
That's true. That's true. I could. Okay, that makes sense. S
But see, I kind of feel like I would know my best friend.
That's what I'm saying. Like I just, they were so close. They were always together. Like, but I get it. So she feeling the type of way when she sees him come out of the car with the girl,
Mhm.
and she's just kind of looking and trying to peek and not get seen because she don't want him to find out who she is or whatever. So she has. I'm gonna skip to the part where they're at the exhibit, the
Mhm.
gallery. All right, so
Mhm.
all of BTS ends up going to her gallery, and she's, she has her stuff for sale, and she has this one picture that she took of their treehouse, of her and JK's treehouse. And so all of BTS is kind of roaming around, and JK looks at that picture, and he tells somebody that he wants to buy the picture. So somebody comes and gets her and is like, "Hey, there's a group. There's some guys here. They want to look at this photo. Somebody wants to buy one of your pieces." So she's like, "All right, I don't know which one, but I'll come down and talk to them." So she comes down to talk to them. Come to find out, it's JK and the rest of BTS. So she's just like, "Oh, hi, I'm Lee Shan Shan. Like, this is who I am. Blah 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 blah." And JK's like, he turns. I just imagine him like turning around slowly, and her seeing his face and being like, you know
This
what
is
I mean?
it.
So he turns around and he's like, "Yeah, I really want to buy this picture." And she's like, "It's not for sale. You can't buy it. So
Right.
you can get anything else in here, but you can't buy that one." So he
Mhm.
felt a little bit of a ways about it, was like, "Okay, I understand. I understand. But we'll just, I'll let it be that." So he ends up, I think that was kind of like it for that night. They talk a little bit. RM and them is
No,
talking a little bit.
she ended up giving him that
She
picture.
does give it to him, but she doesn't give it to him while he's there. They get it sent to him. Didn't they?
Oh, I thought she gave it to him there.
Oh, I thought he
Like, I don't
sent.
think she was around. I don't think she was around, but I think somebody gave her just, she told them just to give him that picture. Don't charge him
Oh,
anything
that's what
for
it was. That's what it was. She gave it to him and didn't charge him for it. So then the
it.
next
Right.
day,
He
he
came back.
he, cause wasn't her friend? Wasn't her? Oh no, that was later on. Never mind. Never mind. So the next day he came back and was at the front desk talking to one of the receptionists, and she's in her office and she hears like people talking, and she's like, "Hold on, I'll go grab her." And as she's getting ready to go grab her, she's walking out and she sees JK. So she just starts kind of freaking out again, like, "Oh crap, like I hope he doesn't recognize me. I hope he doesn't recognize me. I don't know what to say." And he's like, "I just wanted to thank you for the painting because, you gave that to me and I wanted to pay for it." And the receptionist was like, "Yeah, he just donated however much money it was to, to the gallery." And she's like, "Oh, it's not like he didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it." So they're kind of like talking a little bit, and she's trying not to lead on that she knows who he is and not trying to give herself away. And so I'm trying to, they don't exchange, no, they don't, no, he gets, that's something else. Okay. Go ahead, girl.
But let me insert this. So the reason this picture meant so much is that when they were young, they had a treehouse together. She goes up to the treehouse and sees that it's pretty much like they left it. She sees word that J.K. Wrote a song. What song was it, Z?
Girl, I don't know.
Oh, God, it's over the L. Oh,
I don't know.
it's gonna bother me till I get it. Love is not over.
Oh, okay, okay.
So the song was "Love Is Not Over." She's seen the lyrics to the song, and she was like, "Oh my God, he wrote this song about me." But now that song, I need to read it again
I do too. I
because
was like, I don't remember
the
any of those.
English part of it say "Love is not over." So how are you best friends? I guess they talk about best friend love. It's not over.
I
I
mean,
guess.
yeah, you can love your friends. Like that's normal.
But that's why I need to listen to the song. I need to go read the words, lyrics to the song again.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what? Whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it don't
so
sound like a friendship song.
yeah, they really don't. But
Yeah.
they be tricking us sometimes.
You right. You right. You are absolutely right.
so 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 she's seen those lyrics and all this stuff. So it was something in the treehouse that only they knew about. I don't think it was those lyrics. There was something else, and she took a picture of that, and that was part of her exhibit, and that's why he wanted that. Because he was like, which was weird to me. Because why you didn't ask her how she know what this is?
That's
Like,
what
how
I'm
do you know?
saying. There were so many things that he could have been like, "Oh, my best friend knew about this. She was the only person that knew about it. Why was he not like,
Right,
are you like, I don't know. It just never clicked for him until like the last, not the last minute, but it took too long.
right.
Anyway,
And so anyway, she ended up giving him the picture. The next day he came back, gave her all that, donated all that money, and they kind of started hanging out. Okay, so what happens is her best friends come in town at the same time.
who is
I don't
also a
remember the very,
photographer, Lily.
which is also Lily. That's right. Lily
Mm-hmm.
was a photographer too, but Lily had a bigger dream. Okay, she was trying to travel the world. She wanted to photograph, take pictures of everything, right? So she got a job of being a photographer for
One of their
um
photo shoots.
right, but Lee Shanshan was actually her like assistant.
Yeah.
And she was like, girl, I'm gonna get you back in there because she knew, Lily knew the past,
So
okay?
Lily knew okay. So we kind of left out a part. Minho, which
Mhm.
is the guy who's been over the company while
She like manages
yeah,
the
while Homegirl's been in the States, that's who's been managing it.
mhm.
And Lily, one night she got super upset. She got super drunk, and her and Lily and Minho were together at the house. And when they were together at the house, Homegirl was telling her like, "Oh, my best friend this, my best friend that." She was talking about JK because she eventually tells them about JK because they didn't know. So Minho was like,
Right.
"That's your best friend? Like, how could you not say that this was somebody you grew up with?" And I've been talking about BTS and all this other stuff, and she's just like, "Oh, I just whatever, whatever." So after that night, Lily made it her mission to make sure that she got her and JK back together whether it was going to be a friendship or a relationship or whatever. She was going to do her job to get them back acquainted again. So go ahead.
Right, because I'm gonna tell you, she don't do Lily all the way right
No,
to me. Like I feel like Lily deserves so much more
I agree.
because she worked so hard and she was kind of mean to Lily.
A little bit.
But yeah, that's what I said. Kind of. She went
Yeah.
all the way. She still was nice to her, but she kind of was like Lily treated her like, "Girl, you my best friend. I give you everything." And Shasha was like, "But girl, you not my best friend, but we cool."
Right, right,
That
right.
type of way.
Right, right, right.
So anyway, Lily got the photo shoot thing going, and she made her be the assistant. And so they go to this photo shoot. Lily's taking all those pictures. Now, when it's JK turn, she don't know. Sunshine don't know, but she was like, "Can you take over for me? I'm gonna go to the bathroom." So she takes over, and when she turns around, it's JK. So now she's looking at this sexy five. She's like, mm. Did y'all see his live the other day? He was so good. Anyway, so she's taking all these pictures of him, looking at him, feeling some type of way. A lot of pink in her heart,
Right,
but don't know why.
right.
So she's taking these pictures. She does her job in a really great job. Of course, she does a great job because she's great. And I guess kind of her and JK kind of start chatting after that, and they become friends along the way, like quickly.
So the reason why is because Lily gave JK Lee Shanshan's number, saying that she was the one that was over the thing, but it was actually Lee Shanshan's and not Lily's. So he texts her, and she was like, "How did you get my number? First of all, who is this? Secondly,
Mm-hmm.
how did you get my number?" And he's like, "Oh, she said that you were the person." From the photo shoot, like, I look forward to working with you. She's like, "It's actually not me. This is her number." But, and he's like,
Right.
"Well, I hope, we can keep in contact." So then they started to become cool.
Yeah, because he wanted to come and like see his pictures
Yeah.
and like see the edit of him or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Oh, do you want me to go
Yeah,
ahead?
go ahead.
Oh. So anyway, I guess along the way they just kind of just talk all the time. Like They start like going to like lunches together, and like they just kind of hang out along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But he still don't know this is her best friend.
Right.
And so he's still hanging out with her, and now he's developing feelings. She's developing feelings. And so, heck, what has happened?
I'm trying to think. They had a. It was mostly like just them hanging out and stuff like that, and then something
Mm,
there. I'm trying to think. Something does take place, but I don't remember what it was. Ooh, oh,
that's what I'm trying to think about.
um, I don't know, girl. I don't remember.
Something happened. How does she figure, like, how does she end up telling him?
So there was a couple of instances where like she used to do this thing because he used to have his shoelaces untied, and so like one day that they were hanging out, his shoelaces were untied again. So she said something from the past, and she was like, "Oh crap!" So she kind of tried to avoid that, let it go, and then something else happens later on, and because he kept mentioning, oh, go
Maybe
ahead.
that stepmama, that's what happened.
Yeah, well, yeah, the stepmom
So,
too.
okay, so the stepmama is a hateful old lady, okay? I don't know. Anyway, um, so she comes in and she's like, she having the best time of her life. She's like living her dreams. She's doing everything. She's great with JK again. Like she's loving. Like is so big. Like she's not going to tell him who she is. Like they just have a good friendship. How they are is how she wanted it to be.
Which is
So the
silly.
step,
Like, why would you not?
huh?
I said that's silly. Like,
Why
why would
would
you
you not?
not? That doesn't make sense, but.
It don't really because if you're my best friend, how you lie here? Like I feel like you lied from the jump.
Right. Like now it's like everything you got to try to rethink everything and be like, I don't know, like it just felt weird. It would have been nothing to be like, "Hey, I know I messed up in the past." Cuz he always but I will say to take her side, he was always talking about how this best friend, this old best friend this old best friend that, how this old best friend lied to him and how all this other stuff. And I'm like, "Bro, she was 10. There wasn't much she could have done. She was 10."
I
Like
mean, why you so mad?
right, she
Like
was
she
10.
could just stop what she doing and not
Yeah,
go.
and be like, "Hey, family, I'm not gonna go with you, even though I'm a child. I'm gonna stay here." Like,
Right, I'm gonna stay with this family. They just don't take care of me and feed me.
yeah, girl.
So anyway, the mom comes in, the stepmom comes in, tells her, "Girl, you coming to take this business over." Now I don't know why she wanted her to take that business over so bad when she had her own sons.
Because they were not actual rightful heirs of the company.
Yeah, but she was like, "Give it to him. I don't care. I don't want it. I don't want it."
That's not how it was written. Not, I don't mean the book. I mean that's not how it was written. Like for the will. Well, the will that they thought that exists or that they thought existed wasn't written like that because she was supposed to inherit it because she was the only biological heir.
Mm.
So that's why, because they were gonna give it to the sons because that was what they were gonna do. But like technically, they weren't supposed to have it.
Okay, so she wanted her to come and take over this company. That's different reason why she wanted her to come take over this freaking company.
Well, the other reason too was they needed her to get married to Mark because in order
That's
for the
right.
company to like flourish, they needed Mark's family's business because Mark's family had money too. So they tried to get
Right,
this
and that
girl.
business was slipping. That business was
Yeah,
slipping.
exactly.
Hmm.
So they tried to get them hooked up, and so she was like, "You need to come out here. You need to be here at this and this time in New York." So she's like, "I don't, I don't want to do any of this. Like, I don't need to meet this man. Whatever, whatever." She ends up going out there anyway, and she gets straight off the plane, doesn't freshen up, no nothing. She's like, "I'm going as I am." Cause I have nothing for
Right.
these people. I know I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna let them know what's up, and I'm gonna bounce. So
She went. She already knew she was my business.
yeah. So she gets into town. She hops in. Homegirl walks in as she is, and her mom's like, "Oh, she's so tired after her long flight. She didn't get a chance to freshen up." Bet. She's like, "Yeah, girl. Just want to let you
She's
know
like, "Girl, I'm fine.
I'm
I'm
fine."
good."
Right. She's like, "This is Mark and his family." She's like, "Sup? So, Dad."
Say word.
Right.
Word.
Like, so I don't want this company. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. I just want to make sure I let y'all know in person. and I'm about to be out. And then
Right.
she ended up leaving. But go ahead.
Period. So, but while her mother-in-law was there, she did tell her why they ended up leaving Korea.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wasn't
The
it
real
because
reason. The real reason.
so the real reason why the family, Lee Shaw Shaw's family left and went to town is because went to New York is because her dad was trying to have JK's dad killed.
Mm-hmm. He
Now,
made
I
that
don't know the
family.
whole story. They was involved in some type of stuff that they didn't really
Yeah.
specify.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that
Um,
family went broke from that, and like that forced JK into being a K-pop idol because they needed the
right.
money.
hmm
Dang, that's sad.
I don't know if they tried to kill him and it didn't work out,
Yeah.
or what. I think that's what I got from it. They tried to kill him, but they didn't kill him. Almost like what's his name from South Carolina? That whole case.
What?
What's his name from South Carolina? Made up
Who?
the Murdoch. The
Oh,
Murdoch
Murdoch. Yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah, 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 yeah.
He tried to kill himself, but it didn't work out. That's what happened with
That
JK
happens
Daddy.
all
It
the
didn't work
time,
out.
girl.
So it didn't work out. They ended up fleeing, going to New York. JK family was safe after that. I don't really know why, but they were. Um, and so, from what in my head, I thought they was working for the mafia,
That's
some
what it
type of
sounded like to
mafia.
me.
Yeah, and something didn't happen right, and they was trying to end him, but it worked out when he just went for something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, she really didn't want to tell JK after she found that part out because she didn't want to tell him that her daddy tried to kill.
Mm-hmm. And ruin their fortune because they had money at the time too.
Right. So she left, went back home after she told her dad, boo, I'm not going to do this, and went back to Korea. Keep living her life. Um,
So she keep living her life. At some point, her and JK are still hanging out. Things are kind of going or whatever. Side story, real quick. So Minho, who has that is the manager over her gallery, has this big old crush on Lily, which is homegirl's friend as well. And he's like kind of doing his thing, but he's kind of, I don't know if he's like shy or just not really sure where to go with that. So he doesn't really do much. But as things are going on, like they're all together, they're trying to kind of help the business and the gallery and all of that. So she ends up she ends up telling she ends up telling JK that she ends up telling JK that
Leave her alone.
she okay, so she ends up telling JK that bruh,
I can't even hear her for real.
really?
I cannot hear her.
I wonder if he's gonna pick up what I listen. But anyway, she ends up telling him that who she actually is, and he felt a way about it because he's like, "Dang, like you could have been told me that you are my best friend from all these years ago." But he's kind of like happy, kind of like not really sure what to make of it. He's kind
He
of
wasn't
like,
happy at all because she started telling him about why her
well,
family left.
once that happened, it was just kind of like like I might need some time. But like it was a mixture of emotions for him because he was like, dang, this is my old best friend. Dang, her family ruined my family. Dang, she's back. But like, why would she not tell me? Like, it was just kind of like a whole bunch of emotions all in one. So I think, did they take some time apart after that?
Just a little bit.
Just not much, but just a little because he was trying to process everything.
And
Um,
she gonna have the nerve to say, "How could you not know who I was? How could you not tell him who you
like
were?"
it would have been so easy, but it would have made a short story. So,
True.
but okay, so then all that happens. So they get past that. They're moving forward, and they're all happy and hanging out, and everything's like blossoming. He ends up telling everybody like, "This is my best friend that I wrote," because he wrote a crap ton of songs about her, like over the course of his career. And so he's like, the girl that I was always talking about, my best friend, this is her, blah, blah, blah. And so people are now
At a
recognizing at
concert.
a concert. So people are now recognizing her. Again, she bounced from her family. So now stuff is being seen about her because this was a while back, but there was it was an article or something about her being missing, and her family put it out into the media, and that's how that whole thing came about. So now she's really, really in the media again, which she didn't necessarily want, but now she is. And so she's going to concerts, she's hanging out, she's having a good time. Like, they're always hanging out with one another. She's at practices, and she's a photographer for them some days with Lily, and doing all this other stuff. So there's an event that happens, and she starts to get like really, really sick. Is that too far?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, it is too far because, well, yeah, no, you're right because then the dad come after, right?
Right, right, right.
Hmm.
So she's starting to get sick, but she doesn't really know like what. Sorry, I keep getting messages and it's gonna pop up on the screen recording. But I'm on Do Not
I
Disturb, but
can't see it on my end.
it's on my end.
Oh, because
Yeah,
oh.
my yeah. So so she starts getting sick, and people are like kind of like Minho is starting to notice it, like noticing, hey, she's not really looking like her normal self. And Lily's also, I don't know if Lily was around like that. I think she might have been somewhere traveling for taking pictures and stuff. But Minho's noticing that she's not really doing the greatest, and she's like just popping medication. Oh, I'm fine. It's just a headache. Oh, I'm fine. She finally goes to the doctor. She goes to the doctor. Come to find out, homegirl's got I don't know if it was well, she had a really advanced stage of cancer,
Liver.
liver cancer. So she's just like, holy crap. Doctor's like, hey girl, you got about maybe 6 months, like tops. So get stuff in order, whatever, whatever. So all this time she is going by, she's getting sicker, like more and more sick, and she hasn't let anybody know. Her her found best friend has no idea. Her
Right.
manager, who is really close to her, doesn't know. Her other friend don't know.
Hmm.
Like, nobody knows what's going on. So
Right.
there comes to be a time when she's like really, really sick, and she's getting all these letters from home, and she's ignoring them. She don't even open them. She don't even read them. One day another letter comes, and Minho sees it, and he sees that it's from her brother, her stepbrother. But so he takes the letter to her, and she's like, just toss it out. So he gets a little nosy. He opens up the letter and sees that Shan Shan's dad is dying, and so she needs to come out as soon as possible. That they got some stuff they need to take care of. That there's something hidden that she needs to come and get. All this other stuff. So she's like, I really don't want to go out there. I don't see the point, but like, I guess I'll go out there so I could. Or I
No,
think
she
he
wasn't
died.
going to even go out
She
there. She
she was.
wasn't even going out. She wasn't even going to go out there. Mark came back.
Oh, that's right. Mark came back and was like, "Hey, girl. So I know you may or may not have read that letter. Well, she ended up reading the letter after Minho took it, and he was like, your dad actually passed. So we need you to come to services, pay your respects. This is and that." And she was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go."
I hope you cannot hear this in my background.
Hmm.
Can you hear this in my background? Okay, sorry.
No, you're okay. Um, I forgot what I was saying, girl.
So basically, JK and Alden was there when Mark was there delivering the news. They obviously all noticed that she was looking sick as crap. She had lost a bunch of weight, was not even eating, didn't even have food in her refrigerator. And that's when Mark came back saying, "Girl, your daddy is dead. You need to come back." JK was like, "She not going.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going. She don't want to go see her daddy, but she not going." And they got into it. Mark and JK got into it. Of course, JK beat Mark up. I don't know who Mark is, but Mark to me was Mark from God Seven.
That's who I thought it was.
What did you?
I
Okay.
did.
Okay. So, so JK beat him up good. And then she broke them up and she was like, you know what, I do need to go, pay my respects. So she goes, flies. They didn't want to go. She was freaking hanging on by a thread at this time.
Oh,
So
wait.
she,
Something that we forgot to mention about her going back. It was like, you need to go back now, or there's going to be a problem for JK and his family again. And she was like, I don't know, it's gonna be, I don't think this is a good idea, blah, 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 blah. And it was like a whole big thing. And isn't this when they did the whole, like, she was gonna go and then they switched the cars? Like, JK was driving the car because he didn't want her to go? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Go. Go ahead, sorry.
I don't know what happened after that.
Okay, so before they before so she finally does decide that she's gonna go, and everybody's like protesting, like, don't go, don't go, don't go. And she's like, I need to do this, whatever. She's like, you guys don't understand. If I don't go, like, stuff is bad's gonna happen. I just want to make sure I get out there. I'll be back. Like, don't trip. So they're like, okay, upset, but okay. So they take her to the airport. Everybody's there. Mark's there. The security's there. All this. And she's like, well, we're going to something about have her drive in this car because we don't trust it, whatever. So they're like, okay. So they're driving behind them, and then the car starts to veer off, and she's like, hey, because she doesn't know who's driving the car. So she's like, hey, this isn't the way to the airport. She's like, you need to pull over, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I'm going to call the police. So then the person who's driving looks in the mirror, and she realizes it's JK. And she's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm not letting you go. Like, you're not about to leave me. And she's like, you got to take me back. Like, it's going to be fine. So they go on this high-speed chase or whatever with the people that was trying to take her back. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, so there's this whole thing. So she eventually gets back to the place so that she can get to New York for the services. She knows in the letter there was a mention of a scroll. So there's like a scroll or something that has something in it for her specifically. So she's like, all right, I got this plan. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna be, as okay as I can. I'm gonna look for what I need to find, and then I'm gonna go from there. So she goes to the funeral. She leaves a little bit early so she could go back to the house, which was massive. That house was huge. So she goes to the house and she's looking for this thing, and she finds it, and she's like getting ready to open it. And guess who walk in? That damn stepmama. She's like, this was a trap. I knew you was going to try to do this. Give me that thing here, girl. All this other stuff. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. You need to get up out of here. All this other stuff. Talking back. So they start going back and forth, talking to each other. Shanshan get all the strength that she can muster, and she starts whooping this lady's ass.
Listen, because this girl was almost dead at this point.
She starts going in on her. Like, beating her damn near to death. But she doesn't. Mm-hmm. Mark and his people, because Mark ends up being like a really good guy. He genuinely liked the girl. He wanted to know who she was and all this stuff. So he kind of did some creepy research on the back end before he actually got to know her. But he actually had like genuine feelings for her. But he wanted to make sure that she was good and help the family and all that. So him and his crew of people come in and they take out the stepmom's security. They get the stepmom arrested. They do all this other stuff. So they help her. And she's like, okay, cool. And then she passes out. So she wakes up in the hospital. Oh, wait. Did I skip a part? Because when did she write those letters? Did she go out there multiple times?
I think she writes those letters I think she goes back after the fact. No. She wrote those letters before she left because she knew she was going to be dead.
That's right.
She got back.
That's right. Okay.
So she wrote some letters, stashed them in places that she knew that her, whatever the manager name, Minho, Lily, JK will find them.
Yep.
So while she in New York, she handled her business, got that mama arrested, and what happened while she get arrested is the mama ended up telling her that she been poisoning her slowly like she poisoned her dad.
So the dad died because she was poisoned by the stepmom, and the girl's sick because she been poisoning her too, but she couldn't kill her because she left. That's crazy. Right.
So her mom, how did her mama end up going to jail?
So the people that came with Mark and them, they ended up calling the cops, and that's how they ended up arresting her. And she told them everything that happened, and I guess they had proof of that, so that's how she ended up getting arrested. And and everybody that was around was like, yeah, the mom has been doing this from jump. Like the stepbrothers knew about it. Like everybody knew about it in some way.
Yeah. And the baby brother was on the side, but the oldest brother was not. He was
Yeah.
on his mama's side.
Yeah, he was.
So, she was regulated at this point. She was like going into meetings, even after her mom went to, I mean, her stepmom went to jail. Like they was having like this board meeting, and because she like passed out after,
Yeah, she's in the
and then go back.
hospital. Yeah, didn't she go to the
Yeah,
hospital? Yeah.
I think so. She passed out, woke up in the hospital, was not doing well at all. Still came out of there, went to like a board, it's emergency board meeting that I don't even know how she found out about that board meeting. So she went to the board meeting. Oh shoot, my phone going dead.
Girl, mine too. I just looked at the.
It's okay. She went to the board meeting, found out. I mean, ended up like like telling everybody what happened and whatnot. They still didn't even want to let her be like in charge. But she was like, I'm shutting this business down. I don't even want it. It's crooked. It's bad. It's the same business trying to kill my best friend. We're not finna have this. Like, let's cut it short. Right? So everybody was at the board meeting going ham. We all mad. The brother ended up going ham on her. He ended up just going to jail too because he had something to do with it too.
So the reason why that came out is because she was like, so we also know that a bunch of y'all was in the mix and the mingle of all the shady dealings. So for all of y'all that were actually with my dad, y'all gonna get a nice little severance package and y'all gonna be all right. But for everybody else, y'all either going to jail and y'all are not getting anything. And so a
Because
lot of
her daddy
them,
knew.
yeah,
Her daddy knew.
he
He
had a
had all that in
whole,
that scroll.
yep. So he was like, this is who's been here for me. These are the people that, so she got all them people out and then she took care of the people that was on her side, on her dad's
Right.
side.
Mhm. So she did all that, and then she went back to. Did she? Oh, she went back to wherever she was staying at, and then J.K. literally them just popped up on the scene.
Sorry.
Well, first, wait, before that even happened, Mark popped up, and Mark was like, because she was slowly dying, like she just knew she was dying fast,
Yeah.
and Mark popped up and he was like, I found somebody that could cure you. She's like, what? He was like, yeah, this guy normally he's a doctor, but he cures like criminals and stuff like that. So this island somewhere that nobody know about. And you just need to go there and get better. And she was like, I don't know. At that point, I think she had made her mind up that she was dying, and that's just what it was.
Right.
So JK them, Lily and Miho, them popped up on the scene, found out that that's what happened, and they was like, "Girl, you going to get this help, okay?"
So while all this stuff that was going on when she was in New York with her family, that's when they in back in Korea they were finding all the letters that she had written to them, and they were like, we can't let this happen because they're all realizing like homegirl has been sick. So
Yeah,
they were like, we can't let this happen. That's what caused them to go out to New York.
right. And so they popped up on the scene, found out the good deal with Mark. Mark and JK got to be friends, and they was like, I think JK eventually it's like that same day. So like JK confessed his love, she confessed her love that he wanted to be with her, so she needed to get the help. And so they like had a date or two together and everything. It was like within like a day, she was
Yeah.
like flying up to this island.
Yeah. They planned a super cute day for them too.
Hmm.
It was cute.
I know it was cute. And so they end up being together as boyfriend and girlfriend. Because we forgot about those matching bracelets.
Oh, sure did.
So while they was having like this like friend thing, like when they was just like finding out that they was like really good friends, they got kind of close again. I think they already knew about each other then. They already knew that they were best friends from back in the day at this point.
Yeah.
And she found those. I mean, for his birthday, she took him home, and it was so funny in the story because he wasn't supposed to go home. And like Jen was like mad at him. It was so funny in the story because it sounded just like Jen. And so Jen was mad at him. Everybody's mad at him, but Sunshine dipped off for him and took him back to Busan. And they had like this whole like birthday celebration with his family. And she ended up giving him a bracelet. And she had a bracelet. So there was really a couple bracelets, but
Mm-hmm.
they were best
Best friend
friends then.
bracelets. Yeah, they loved each
So
other a lot.
right. So then, so after all this happened, y'all, and they figured out that they were actually in love with each other, which we all knew
Right.
that they were in love with each other, but they didn't know. So, they decided that they were going to be together and all that good stuff. She ended up going to this island, getting better. It was like a month or two.
It was a
Was it
year,
about
girl.
a
It was a
year?
year.
I was going to say, I think it was way
Yeah, it
longer.
was a year. So when they pick up for the year, they're like, JK and the baby brother is at a gravesite. So you're like, oh, homegirl done died. Cause JK's
Yeah.
talking to them and he's like, I said I would bring the brother here to talk to you, blah blah blah. Come to find out, it's the dad's gravesite. Homegirl is doing great. She's recovering well, all that. But it just
Mhm.
the way that it was set up, you're like, dang, she died.
Right.
That story was cute, but yeah. So they're doing that whole thing. She's getting ready to come back. I think they had a concert or something, and she just showed up. Oh no, they were coming back from a concert, and they just showed up. They were at the airport, and as they're at the airport coming out, all the cameras and fans and stuff are around. But then she starts to walk up, and then everybody kind of turns around and looks at her. So then all the rest of BTS kind of like, what's going on? And then that's when JK realizes it's Lee Shanshan, and so they have their moment, and it's all cute or
Mhm.
whatever, and they're happy to see one another because he wasn't expecting her to be there. I don't think he was expecting her to be there like that moment. I think he was expecting her a little bit later. So that was cute.
That was pretty much the end of the story, I thought.
Um, doesn't he ask her to marry him or no?
Oh yeah, I think they have this party,
Yeah.
this like party because she's back, and then he asked her to marry. Like, did he ask her to marry him before she left?
I don't I don't think so. I think she
Okay, maybe when she came back, he
maybe.
asked her to marry him,
I don't
and
know.
everybody loved it, and the whole army loved it, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What Lisa said. So,
Sorry, guys, we are a little rusty. It's been a while, but we get back to the swing of things, so please bear with us.
yeah. So, how did you feel about the story? Oh, and anyway, it's too late now. But how did you feel about the story?
I mean, I like the story. At the end of the story, I felt like I wanted more a little bit,
Okay.
but it wasn't bad. I liked it. I didn't miss the smut as much as I thought I would, because y'all know I like a good smut. Okay, but I liked it for what it was. Yeah, what you think?
So I like the story. I just thought it was a really interesting twist. The fact that Homegirl had been poisoning her and her dad this whole time was wild
Yeah.
to me because I don't think we've read a story like that. Like we have read a story where somebody was sick, but we hadn't read anything like that necessarily. So that was kind of cool, just a different touch. I thought it was a cool story. Like I thought it was
Did
pretty
you get
good.
mutual help vibes a little bit off their friendship?
Their friendship, yes, very not as touchy, but like yes, and how
Definitely
close
not
they were.
touchy.
Yeah, but just as how close they were because they were always talking about like don't be a perv and all this other stuff. With mutual help, they was like on each other all the time. So I did get that from it. But I mean it was cute to see like their friendship. It was weird sometimes just because I was like I don't understand why it took them so long to realize who each other was. Like I get it. As a kid, you may not remember, and as you grow up, you look different. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Um, so I get that, but it was cool. Like I liked the concept. I felt like how it was written was interesting to read, just because it was written. It almost felt like it was some spots were kind of choppy, like sentence structure wise was like a little bit choppy. Um, but I liked it. I did like it.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
thought it was cool. All of our social media has changed. Again, if you followed any of our previous pages, the pages still exist. It's just the name is different. So if you go look for us now, it's going to be under What You Read in Podcast. The only one that is different. So everything is now universal. It is What You Read in Podcast, the letter U, What You Read in Podcast on all of our platforms except Twitter. Twitter is What You Read in Pod because I couldn't fit podcasts all the way in there. So
Right.
our email is now whatyoureadinpodcast@gmail.com. Again, though, you can email us, but you can always just fill out our little form and send your recommendations that way. Or if you feel compelled, you could do like our DMs and things like that. It'll be open as well. So that's an option.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.